Vanny, yeah, right in your pocket. Vanny, come sit right on those chairs. And actually, Van, you sit here, Ari, you sit there. Perfect. Great job.
Heyo.
Are you excited? Can you slide back so you don't fall? Okay, awesome.
Perfect, you're all good to go.
All right, have a seat. So we're gonna start here, and then the camera's gonna swing, and then once you see it swing, we'll get ready to be on TV with you, okay? So just, you have to... Hi, everyone. Good morning to you. It's 8 o'clock on the start of your Thursday morning. Thanks so much for being with us on Second Cup. There's an echo in the studio. This is one of those days that I need to say thank you to so many of you who've joined us over the last couple of days. First of all, the conversations that we've been having about the Collins Correctional Facility has been absolutely incredible. There are so many people who are affected by this on both sides, not just the CO side, the inmate side as well.
Right.
And yesterday, when I asked you to reach out to me, I put my cell phone up there, as almost like a sacrificial lamb, because I want to hear from you. I want to make sure that we're hearing the stories that you have to tell. I cannot tell you how many of you came through, not only telling me stories about what's happening inside to your loved one who might be behind bars, but also as the wives, the daughters, the girlfriends of these COs who are concerned about the people who are working in these facilities. And I'm telling you,
blowing up. His phone ringing off the hook all morning yesterday. Texts, calls, voicemails, even through today. And I think that's the fun thing, or the enjoyable thing about getting to do this with you guys, is that, we don't always get to hear from you. We don't always get to, we're the ones talking at you, explaining things, but you guys chiming in and explaining what you're going through firsthand and texting him, you know what I mean? Just like one of your friends or family, it really helps bring us into what you're going through.
And look, this is the reason why we are in these positions, why we're doing this job. It's because we're making sure that we can highlight and share and understand what you're going through. Lori, yeah, exactly. It does need to get out. We really appreciate you. And Anita, I appreciate you. That's very kind. And I really appreciate everyone who's reached out. I'm telling you, the text message I've got, one after another, with a lot of the same sentiment. Something needs to be done. So we'll talk about that in just a little while. I want to make sure that we're having that round conversation where it's all sides.
Right. It's not going to stop at yesterday's conversation or texting Ed. This is something we'll keep doing. We'll keep talking about for as long as it's going on.
And here we are, day 4 of this strike. It's not going anywhere.
Even last week when we were talking about the Collins being closed, we did not think it was going to end up here. And now here we are 4 days into a strike.
So let's show you what's going on here. I want to take you live to Collins Correctional, where that strike is now in day 4. You can see some of those officers, those COs who are still out and about protesting, striking. They want better working conditions, better pay. They want to make sure, and it's not about the money is what I've heard. It's about literally life or death for these people who are working on the inside
here. And
then
look how cold it is out there. You can see snow falling on them, but they're not budging.
No.
They've been told to go back to work, to stop striking, and they're not doing that. They're out there. They're having their voices heard. They've got signs, and they're putting up their tents as we speak, and they're probably going to be out there all day today. There are no negotiations, but we'll see what those do.
What's so interesting about this is that these people are out here protesting and striking, breaking the law. They are concerned about their future inside these facilities. And it's not just Collins, it's all across New York State, where prisons are different than what they have done in prior days, in that a judge has told them that they have to get back to work. A judge ruled they can't be striking anymore, that they have to get back on the inside. Yet, as far as we know, these are officers who are defying that law.
Yeah, and they have been, and they've been going for days. And yesterday we heard from the governor for the first time, and she did not mince words.
Right. She said, get back to work. So we'll dig in here and talk about this a little bit more in just a little while. We're going to keep our photographer, Rob Nevis, there for us to kind of monitor the situation. And we'll, again, circle back and just go first. I want to say welcome to some of our friends here who are joining us this morning. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
You guys can use your outdoor voices here. I'll say it again. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Yes.
Come on. You guys, Mila, a little bit louder. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, much better.
Love it.
So these are all of our friends here. They actually won a trip to Channel 7 to see what it's like here to be on TV and to be part of Second Cup. Is this cool? What do you guys think?
Yeah. Yes.
Are you having fun?
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so tell us your names and what you guys like to do. I mean, you guys love football, it seems.
Yeah.
All right, who's your favorite player? Let's start with you, Ari.
Rasul Douglas.
Rasul Douglas. Okay, even though you're wearing a Josh Allen jersey. Vanny, who's your favorite player? Tyreek Hill.
Hill.
Okay.
Rogue.
Say your name and tell us where you're from. I mean, not where you're from. I don't want to tell you where you're from, I guess. But who your favorite player is.
Trey, probably Micah Hyde or Josh Allen.
All right.
Ooh.
Mila and Micah Hyde, but now it's Josh Allen.
Okay. Why is Josh Allen your favorite player? All right, Trey, tell us why.
Because, like, he's really good. He throws it to the players on his team and not the other team.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, love that. No interceptions. That's
you
what it's
gotta
all
do.
about. So this was part of a huge gala for their school. And, I'm kind of being a little coy about where they're from because I don't want to put it out there. It's a lot of information for these kids. But we're glad that you're with us. MD Beatty says good morning to our sweethearts, Mila, Trey, Van, and Ari. Mila twice. Do we know who this person is? Oh, okay. Mom and Dad are here also, so we're glad that they're with us. Okay, so what was the coolest thing that you guys got to see here today when you were touring Channel 7?
I liked the room where we got to where it had all the big TVs.
Mm-hmm.
And
You got to punch the buttons?
Yeah.
That's
I
called the
like smart.
control room. It's super cool.
Yeah, that's
Um,
right too.
Tell us why.
Because that's the only room we can press a button.
Mila, what did you like?
I like looking at the set. It was cool to see behind the scenes and stuff.
Ari, Vanny, what's your favorite part? The weather. Okay. Are you going to be a meteorologist one day? No? You're smart, though. You could do it.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do when you grow up?
Play baseball.
Baseball?
Hockey player.
Wow.
Nice.
Mila?
I don't know what I want to do yet.
Really?
What are your options? What are you thinking?
I have no clue.
Anything? I think you can do a little bit of everything.
What's your favorite thing to do right now? What do you like to do?
I love cheerleading. I like playing volleyball and basketball.
Awesome.
There we go.
Okay, so a sporty girl. Love that for
How
us.
about you, buddy?
NFL. So funny. Vanny, are you sick? Do you need a tissue or something? No, okay. Just making sure.
Got it.
Okay. Talk to me about what you think people should know about the news. Do you watch the news?
No.
No, I don't blame you. Do you watch YouTube?
Yeah.
What do you watch on YouTube?
Maybe sometimes I watch people that play this video game NHL.
Okay. What do you guys watch on YouTube these days?
Junk.
Fair enough.
What?
It says junk. Ari calls it like it is, you guys.
He keeps it
cracking
real.
up. Mila, what are you watching on YouTube? How does your mom let you watch junk? I am shocked. There's no way that mom's letting you watch junk on YouTube.
Oh, I just turn it on.
Oh, without her knowing?
Or I watch Crime Zone.
Crime Zone? What's that all about?
Crime Zone.
What's that show about?
Junk.
Is it about people who do bad things? And then what happens?
Something bad, but
Do they get arrested or what?
yeah.
Oh my gosh. You don't watch that?
No, I watched it with
What else are you watching without mom knowing? It's like the color bars on HBO.
Mila, what are you watching?
I don't even know sometimes.
Just anything that comes on.
Yeah.
Danny, what's your favorite thing to watch on YouTube? Same thing. Okay, that's fair enough. Ellen, good morning to you. Bravo. She's so happy to see you. Who's Ellen? Do we know Ellen? Bravo, Mila,
Yeah.
Trey, Ari, and Van. Who's Ellen?
Our grandma.
Oh,
Oh,
Grandma
Grandma's
Ellen is
watching.
here. That's so cool.
We call our friends on Second Cup the Cuppies. So all of the Cuppies are going to be rooting for you guys. Now they're your biggest fans.
Do you want to say a big good morning to the Cuppies? All right, let's say 1, 2, 3.
Good morning.
All right, let's say,
Cubbies.
can we say you're watching Good Morning Buffalo? Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
You're
Watching Good Morning Buffalo.
Can you say it a little bit louder with more passion and energy,
gusto.
you guys? Come
A little bit of oomph in
on.
it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
You're
Watching
watching
Good
Morning
Morning
Buffalo.
Mila, you're a cheerleader. I feel like you could lead this for us. Count us down.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
You're watching Good Morning Buffalo.
That's what I like
There
to
we go.
hear. Nice job, you guys. Okay, so obviously there's a gala coming up. You know what this is all about, what
Yeah.
I'm talking about, right? At your school, it raises money. It's a fundraiser. Somebody is going to be bidding on this trip to come to see Channel 7, tour the studio, and be part of Second Cup. What would you tell that family, Ari, who is going to pay a lot of money to come visit us here?
Thank you.
Love that. That's very thoughtful, very passionate. I love that. Trey, what would you tell that family?
You'll be ready for a lot of cool stuff.
Cool. Mila, what do you think?
It's fun.
It's fun.
Nice.
Vanny? You don't know? Vanny's just a
cracking me
guy.
up.
He's just a
He's
cool dude.
kid. Look at. I love how you're sitting in the chair too. You're
Yeah.
chilling. You're
Relaxing
singing.
and relaxing. Their parents are so funny. Do you guys want to come in here? Come say hello.
Mom's dad.
You might recognize Sarah. She was here. She was here a couple of months ago giving
Hi.
facials, telling us
Oh,
all about
yeah.
summer skincare. Come on in here. Come on in. Come on in.
Yay. I mean, with these coats, I'm.
yes, like, girl.
I love this.
This is Jess, Mila and Trey's mom. This is
Yeah.
Sarah, Ari, and Van's mom. Okay, so this is pretty cool. I mean, you guys obviously wanted to come and give them this experience. Tell us why, and tell us why it was super important for you guys to be here.
Yeah, I think being able to give them this opportunity, not everyone gets to do something like this, and to kind of see the hard work that goes into, what you guys do every day, and just give them this experience, I think is truly incredible. And I think they get a deeper appreciation for, professionalism and again, what you guys do every day.
Sure.
So it's awesome. And now we can go home and watch, and I think they'll get a better understanding truly of like what it takes to go in behind the scenes and produce this awesome show.
Just, I wonder, like, what would you tell a family that's looking to get the same experience in this upcoming auction?
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of fun for our kids. I don't
Yeah.
think, it's not something that you can buy on a regular basis. So I think anything that you can give people these once in a lifetime experiences to come and check something out. You can't go to the store and get it, and they'll remember this forever.
Cool.
It's really awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
Where'd you get your jacket from?
Oh, this is Zara.
Oh, this whole thing?
Where's the jacket from? It must have looked this.
Brand bar.
I don't gatekeep. This is Zara, 2021. Yes,
Here
I
for
don't
it.
gatekeep. Yeah.
Lauren
Very
says she
much.
loves this.
Hi, Lauren. Good morning. She's
I got
also-
these.
Oh, I see. Trey knows.
Oh yeah, hi Cuppies.
So does Ari. You guys are going to be part of the show every morning now, and we're so grateful for you. Thank
Cuppies
you
are
for.
gonna start asking for you guys.
Seriously.
Come back.
Okay, so maybe what we can do
Sup,
then is zoom
brother?
into the crowd here. Zoom into the 4 kids, and moms, you guys can join in also. What I'd love for you guys to do is give a really big good morning greeting, and I'd love for you to talk directly to the camera. Look right here, and I want you guys to say, "Good morning, Buffalo. You're watching Second Cup." Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Good morning, Buffalo. You're watching Second Cub.
Great job. Awesome. Okay, everyone wave to the camera. Say thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
We love you guys. Okay, so I want to go back to that live shot now from Collins Correctional Facility and kind of go back into that conversation
Puppies.
because we are having that conversation still about these officers on strike. This is continuing now for a 4th day. Aren't they great? They're so adorable, these kids, and we're so lucky to have that we really care about their kids' future. And I just love having them here, Lewis and Dan and Sarah and Jess. It's great to have you guys. Grandma Ellen says, "Great job, you killed it." Great job. And then Georgiana says, "What an experience. Way to go, kids. Hope you had a great time. You all did amazing." Great job, everyone. Lauren, great kids. Lori, oh my gosh, perfect job. You rock. Everyone's saying bravo. Great parents too. Yeah, you guys are the best. Okay, so here we are looking live at Collins Correctional Facility. The big word here, strike. And so what does this mean? This means that the people who are working inside the facility are now having to figure out what's next. What do they do here? How do they move on from here? What's the next step for them as they figure out how to make sure that they are safe in what is otherwise, as they say, an unsafe place to be?
I'm thinking back to day 2 when we first saw other prisons get involved in this, right? Because at first this was just Collins.
Right.
Collins is like our ground zero here. This is where it all started. And then you saw Attica pop up, Wendy pop up, and now we're at 30 statewide. I mean, talk about making a statement, right? These protesters not going down without a fight. They say they're going to go through with this until they get what they want. And what they want is to repeal the HALT Act. They want to really have more control in the CO's hands when things get out of hand in there. They don't want to see any staffing reductions, and they don't want to be penalized for doing this. And they really want to feel heard by the state at this point. I mean, some of these signs that you're seeing here, I mean, these are big statements, and you have to wonder what's going to happen next and how the state's going to respond. Because what we've heard from the state is they're saying, go back to work. They've responded to all their demands and kind of refuted them and kind of bounced back. Are we going to be able to get to a point where these COs get what they want, where they're able to go back into work and feel safe?
So it's interesting, that you mentioned the HALT Act in particular. Somebody called me before, and as I put my cell phone number out there, for better or for worse, so many of you are using that line to be in touch with me, which I appreciate, and really explain what's going on. So somebody from the inside called me a little while ago, and she said this: the HALT Act is a problem, she said, because it eliminates the ability for these people to protect themselves. So here's what she said. Basically, you're Taylor Epps, I'm Ed Dranch. Taylor Epps, we're both in jail, but Taylor Epps cuts Ed Dranch with a knife, right? You stab me someplace. And you're both at this point brought to the solitary housing unit, the SHU is what they called it. But then we would both, after spending that time in the SHU, go back into general population. And that, she said, is the biggest problem because there's no protective custody. Back in the day, before there was the HALT Act, essentially what she was saying was that you would stab me, you would be put in isolation in that
The SHU.
in the SHU, or what is it, the single solitary confinement, but I would be in protective custody. And so under the HALT Act, she's saying
No protection for you.
Exactly. So now it just creates a powder keg. And some of these people who want that protective custody are taking it out on the guards to try and get into that solitary confinement so that they don't have to be out in the general public.
And the governor said, this is law already. I can't change it. That's up to lawmakers and
Right.
legislature. They would have to go in and start that. Because it's law, I can't do anything about it.
So Mike says special housing unit, we never had solitary confinement. And what this person on the phone told me was that solitary confinement, or the SHU, this special housing unit, is a place where they're in their cells, but have access to recreation, their iPads. They can make phone calls. And, correct me if this person is wrong, but this is what I was told from inside the facilities. And I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. And
We're learning a lot out of all of this. And I think that's what we've been trying to do, is to learn more what is going on.
right.
Again, Ed's been trying to get these documents from the state, a list of complaints that have been made about the facilities, and we still don't have those. So really all that we know is what we can get from you guys, what we can hear from those of you that are calling and texting Ed, people who are out there, family members on the picket lines with them, talking to us. This is how we find these things out. And this is how, people who aren't associated with this, who maybe had no idea what was going on at corrections facilities, now knows because you're sharing your voice.
Interesting. So these inmates can make phone calls from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily.
From the
Special housing
special
unit.
housing?
Yeah. Diane says the governor is far from telling the truth. I'm trying. I don't know.
Learning.
I mean, like, you have really, I don't think we know what we don't know.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? We don't know what we don't know. We just are very unaware to a system because thankfully none of us have ever been part of that system. But as Mark says, there's no deterrent to stop it. And that's kind of what this person was telling me, which creates an even bigger problem. It kind of snowballs from here. Inmates get phone calls too, Lori says. Robert says social media is extremely powerful. Carol, good morning to you. Hochul needs to work with the CEOs and not fight them.
We've heard she's in negotiations with the union. Like they sat down to talk yesterday. They might continue to talk today, but will they get to that point where they can agree? I mean,
it's interesting. Mike says from anywhere, also from the dorm in a medium and cells in a max. So, okay, so the dorm, what they said was basically the general population is like 60 guys in a dorm. If you stab me and we both go back together, there's more of an opportunity for you to get back at me or for me to get back at you.
Because they're going back to the same place.
Exactly.
After how many days?
He says 15. So I don't know. Is it the right policy? Does that need to be tweaked? Are we talking about something that needs to be changed a little bit, like bail reform? One of those issues that maybe is good in nature or in theory,
but it has all of these implications. Anita says the union's not on board with the CEOs. So the union is the one talking to Governor Hochul and the state and docs. But Anita's saying that some of the CEOs in the union aren't seeing eye to eye. And we'll remind you that this strike is not sanctioned by the union.
Right. And it's illegal. But so these people are risking their jobs, risking their careers. Bill talked to a worker a few weeks ago, told me he worked 48 hours straight.
We're hearing like 11 shifts in a row from some
Crazy.
people.
Kim, I don't understand. Why are they not listening to the CEO? My God, it's dangerous. And what do the CEOs have to protect themselves? And that's the other thing that I was hearing from these family members who, again, were texting me yesterday. These officers who are inside the prisons are unarmed. They don't have guns.
Tasers or anything?
As far as I know, they have no weapons. My mom, hi, Jan, good morning. This is a job that few people can do. They deserve protection. Cindy says, it's bad when they are willing to lose their jobs due to the strike. Kathy says, that is the big problem. And I've been saying it for years now. Linda says, looking at it from a different side, Kathy can't go against the law. She would have to redo the law, which would all take time. Which is an interesting thought, because what she's saying essentially is that this would have to be an act of literally, it doesn't have to be Congress, but it would be like, the state assembly.
The assembly and Senate. And Langworthy said yesterday, okay, call a special session.
Right.
Do an emergency act to try to get this changed. So that was his challenge to her.
This is what I was told, that they have no weapons inside the facility.
Maybe Anita can shed light to that. If that's true. Are there any weapons? No weapons, no phones, Rosemary says.
So, this person may be wrong. And again, this is just what I was told. So thankfully, again, I have no experience on the inside. But, Mike, maybe you can shine some light here, or Anita. Do these CEOs have weapons on the inside? Help us out here. Okay, so Carrie says, no, they are not allowed. Only a baton and pepper spray. So that's CO spray.
Right.
Or OC spray, whatever it's called.
Anita says no weapons, no protection, no radios at certain points. And Kathy says the tower guards are armed.
Okay. Joyce, when my nephew was in Attica as a guard, he got bit.
Whoa.
Had to get shots as well. Mike says she has the power to suspend HALT right now.
I think getting this perspective into what CEOs are going through and hearing, so someone who just recently retired because he said he was sick of it. He couldn't deal with it anymore because he would kiss his wife on his way to work and not know what he was about to go into, not know if he was going to be safe that day.
Right.
And he didn't want to put her through that anymore. You're looking live here again at Collins. This is one of the signs. When did I become an inmate? That's how the corrections officers are feeling. Stop rewarding violence, start protecting staff. What another one of their signs says, you can see that snow coming down. It's cold out there, but they're continuing here on day 4 of this strike.
Here's an interesting thought from Tamara. This is such an extremely difficult issue, like an onion, so many layers and different perspectives. And with all the stories, you're only getting part truth from all sides. It's a different place on both sides, but CO should never worry about going home or taking disease home. We have pepper spray and a collapsible baton is what Mike says. Okay, so they have no gun, no taser. I'm sure use of force is frowned upon.
And how many COs are there compared to the number of inmates? So if you said there's 60 guys in a dorm, how many COs would be in that room?
And from what I was hearing, it's a very low ratio.
That could be scary. I mean, I'd be scared doing it.
Yeah, more inmates compared to
2 COs or a couple COs, some pepper spray and batons.
Carol says, I have a friend who's been injured twice in the past year by inmates. This is serious. And that's the concern for a lot of these people. But, as I mentioned, we're also trying to get the inmate side of things because, look, I mean, these people did something to warrant being in jail or warrant being in prison.
Mm-hmm.
They were convicted, which would send them to prison. And in some cases, there are heinous acts that got them there. Murders, rapes, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, we're all humans, right?
We're talking about human beings, and they're there to serve their time. And I know that people, their loved ones, are concerned. They're worried about their safety in this. And, the National Guard's being sent to now help the COs who've been on the job since the strike started.
Right.
But there's so many concerns on all sides as to what people are going through. And we talked to someone who actually pushed for the HALT Act. And he said, I've been in solitary before. And he said he spent years of his life down there. And that he's forever changed and is still suffering because of the time he spent in solitary. It
was interesting to me to talk with this. And by the way, we've got to bring Aaron in just a second. So, you'll see him do the weather. But what this person on the inside told me a little while ago was that solitary confinement is not what you think. It's not like you're in a dark hole in Shawshank Redemption is what the example was. So, maybe we have a different perception of what solitary confinement looks like based on the movies.
Sure.
But, you're hearing the experience from one guy who's actually in there.
Yeah.
And then another experience from the other side.
And people are chiming in about that ratio. I'm hearing 1 CO for 70. Somebody said 2 CO for every 60. So it's 1 for every 50 inmates. There's 1 person.
It's daunting, I can
That's
imagine.
Scary.
Solitary should be horrendous. It's supposed to be a deterrent. But this guy who we spoke to said he spent a year there.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long time. Lynn says that's a lot of psychological and mental abuse that they have to deal with on both sides.
Right. I mean, it's troubling. When you hear stories from each of them, you're just like, oh my gosh.
Right. Casey says Hochul's statement yesterday proved she has no concern for the guard's safety. I'm concerned for the safety inside the prisons right now. Get back to work. Robert said a couple of people I know personally left corrections because it's that bad. One other person who texted me said that on Wednesdays, the inmates are supposed to go to get dialysis at ECMC, but yesterday they didn't go.
Wow.
So, it sounds like it's almost like it's a health issue for the COs. It's a safety issue for the COs, but people obviously are working long shifts and, is an inmate being cared for or taken care of the way they perhaps should be? We're going to merge in with Aaron. So stand by for us. How much time, Aaron? All right, here we go.
Ed walked over so that,
Sorry.
so that you could hear him. But we'll take you back to Collins here. This live shot, you can see it's the state flag upside down. I mean, so huge statements coming out here. And we're going to be back out there, obviously, today, sending more reporters to keep covering this story. It's something that's important to so many of you. So we want to stay on top of it. And Peter said we need Second Cup to be an hour for conversations like this one.
Joyce says, I doubt Ed would want to. He probably wants to go home by now. Yes. You know what? I have a lot of work to do, to be honest with you. But I'm happy to have this conversation. And we'll put my cell phone up here again. 716-713-3514. You got something you want to say? You want to be on? I mean, look, text me if you want to be on camera. That's really what we need right now. We need somebody to be brave. We need somebody to stand up and say, I'm going to share my story and I'm going to be on camera. That's what I'm looking for today. So send me a text, call me, whatever you got to do. Have a great day.